It's a time for package from China. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video we are going to take a close look at the latest edition, the mini game Anniversary Edition entertainment system built in 620 classic games. But you're not going to believe if I'm saying maybe this bloody thing has only AV out. So it's just a freaking mess when it comes to these devices. When I started my YouTube channel, I very fast started reviewing China products because they just interest me. But the 621, 500, you name it, like they keep making these things even up to in 2021. And I'm talking about like after a couple of years, it's just a freaking nightmare. And there's always the question, which one is the best one? And this one comes with a freaking AV out connection. But fun fact, so if you're looking at the box itself, you can see here they're clearly we're using like wired controls. But it says here 2.5 wireless controls. So what is it? Is it one with a wire or without a wire? And that's like the mess that we can see a lot. It seems like nowadays we're going to get the wireless editions. And with these new versions, we're going to actually like knock off from the original one. When you're looking at the controller, and oh man, I can say like they got the select and start like the really original clickish feel, but all the other parts are not like the original one. And they are even working on 2 AAA batteries. But not to forget the smelly test. I must say they don't smell chemical, so that's something new. It comes also with this weird power supply, just a 5 volt. They did give me like the converter I need. Combination with a micro USB cable and of course an AV out cable with mono sound. Inside we're going to get the system itself, and look at this. That makes it even more wicked. So this casing is ready for use with an HDMI, but yeah, they just left it out. I think this is just for cost-effective reasons. On and off switch, the reset entertainment system, and with an icon that says wireless. Okay, what I find quite interesting that it is a wireless edition, but we also having the option to connect USB controllers. The design itself is of course a knockoff from the original one. And here we're going to get our famous toilet paper. And what's in manual is more like toilet paper, piece of paper. And sometimes what you're going to get, they're going to give you a game list. It's very hard to record, but just to give you a quick overview. There is already a game set here, Movebox, so this thing will be filled with a lot of homebrew, double games, stuff like that. This was something they're always doing. But an overall list looks quite interesting. 620 TV game list. Well, let's connect it, because I want to see if this thing works. How good is the signal output? And is this thing even worth it? Or is it just another waste of money? Alright, so the first thing that we're going to get and do is the cable for connecting with the television. We're going to get a normal barrel jack connection, 3.5 inch. Put them in the AV out slot. Then we're going to connect it over here in the television. Alright, let's connect it over here. And last but not least, the power supply itself is basically like a micro USB, 5 volt. It's already turning on, that is good news. So let's see if we can play some games. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to do is powering on the controller. When you're putting in the batteries, the LED over here is started to blink. I didn't mention it before, but it says player 2 or player 1. And I just realized that, damn it! Did I grab the player 2? Oh! They all both have the indication of play 2. Oh, that is really convenient. Oh man. So let's see if it's going to be powering on and we can use it. Go on. Okay, it seems to be working, so I'm lucky. But what I hate about these devices, every time you reset it, it goes back to the language select. So that is really annoying. I already mentioned that the game list itself, it's not bad at all, but what I find really annoying, that we're only going to get 8 games for each list. So it takes forever to get to the end of the list. I don't notice any input lag. I can use this thing for quite a distance, a controller. I just wanted to give you a quick scroll through the list, but in overall, like I already mentioned a couple of times, some naughty games, homebrew games, double games. It's the same stuff with all these freaking NES clones. Alright, so let's boot it up with the Turtles. The first game, I've played this game so much as a child. Even for AV out signal, it doesn't look that bad. Soundtracks sound like it should be. including all the sound effects. Yep, even when I get hit. I have seen my share of shitty clones, but the signal output is not better. I think if you're going to put this thing on HDMI, I think we're going to get a very nice NES Mini Classic clone. Next up, Adventureland. Oh, having 4 buttons, and of course the other ones are like the turbo buttons. For in my case, the jumping and shooting. I'm just holding the button now, so it just keeps jumping. I always have problems with NES clones somehow, but so far so good. Again, all the sound effects are here. The controls play very well, especially when a Double Dragon. You can move around, you can test the D-pad very well. Connectivity wirelessly is very nice. I'm Robocop, yeah, I'm gonna punch you in the face. I'm Robocop and I'm gonna take a big shit on you too. And these are the games that when you're having like a really bad emulation on handheld or in Famicom, whatever, you don't hear those, like you get the punching noise, or when you're hitting the enemy in the balls. And again, if you want to test out the D-pad, you need to jump a lot in this game. Ow! You're gonna be like Punch my like dragon cake. Do 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 do. Ooh. All right, so when you're looking at everything, the emulation and the performance in combination with also like the color output, it looks not bad at all. So at that point, I'm very surprised how good it actually is. So let's take a close look in the inside. I'm guessing I need to remove the rubbery feet. And let's open it up. I just want to give you a quick in the inside how it looks, but also how does it work with HDMI. Is there like completely different PCB in it, or is it just a minor revision? I will not say like you're going to add yourself an HDMI connection to, because it makes no point whatsoever, especially because these things are so freaking cheap. Oh man, they are really annoying to get out. Alright, we got them all. Let's grab myself a screwdriver, because I think this one doesn't fit. And I'm not surprised if there was no thing inside, simply because, yeah, with the new technology nowadays, we don't need big PCBs for 8-bit stuff. Okay, so the top shell is quite interesting. So the piece of plastic are clicked inside of this shell. Alright, so let's flip it on the other side, and holy crap, I knew there was not a lot inside, but this time, again, here you can see like this is not a PCB board that supports HDMI, or they didn't, let's say, get the same board but leave the HDMI connection out in combination with the encoder that you need. This is just a completely very small PCB with this old school ribbon cable that goes here to the front, that connects the reset button and the on off switch with the USB ports. So the USB ports are actually connected, so you can use some other controllers. That's a very positive thing, because even if here's the wireless connectivity, it works very well. If the controls get broken, there is no way getting other ones. Like this is some bad soldering, like they just sticked it in and didn't even, yeah, cut them off. But let's take a close look at the chip itself on here. It doesn't say anything to me when it comes to the chip, and it's also very hard to read. But most of the problems when I'm having when looking at on these chips and you Google the codes or anything about it, there's not a lot of information. Let's put it this way: the black blob underneath it will find an other chip, but I'm not going to remove the blob itself. But I just wanted to give you a quick inside and how small this PCB is. Holy crap! But here you can see the other like attachment for the bigger PCB that will have the functionality of HDMI. But then is of course the question, will it be just as good when it comes to the output of the signal? But because sometimes it is going to be messed up even then. Okay guys, so this is what you're going to get with this 7/21 Anniversary Edition. It's such a confusing thing, because if you're looking at the game amount like 620, there are a lot of different versions out there. And that makes it like the jungle of Famicom NES Mini Classics from AliExpress. I think you can find them on other different platforms too. But on overall, like what you're going to get with this version, it's quite interesting. So first of all, the controller. The wireless controller is not bad at all and it plays very well. I don't compare this with original NES controllers, but it's getting really close now. So the days of shitty controllers, I think they are just over now. They work on batteries, so you can switch them out very easily. Of course, if you're going to put a lithium battery in it with an extra connector for charging, it's all like cost-effective things. So this is just the cheapest way to make it, and I'm very happy that it plays very well. So when it comes to this device, it's interesting. It's just a bummer that it didn't have an HDMI connection. I know like it will be like more expensive most of the time, and it will end up like $5 or maybe $7 expensive, but it will be more convenient. The AV out signal is not bad at all. I have seen some shitty emulation, but also some shitty signal outputs, but this thing is not bad at all. So I can say like not my favorite or the best ones that I've reviewed here on the channel, but they're also not the worst. I want to thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit that little bell, become one of the Wicked family, and I will see you in the next video.